morning. Hey, good morning and welcome to my channel. This is Dixie Quilters, Marlene with Dixie Quilters. And I just thought I'd take a quick moment to show you what I've started with panel play. So this is our book Panel Play from Fabric Cafe with Donna Robertson and Fran Morgan. You recognize their faces because we see them a lot on YouTube feeds. And so this is their brand new book that I got at Lynn with Soft Squares. It was a good price, and it's surprising. I really am going to tackle one of these. I'm pretty thrilled. So let's adjust up a little bit so I don't have to stoop. There we go. Good morning again. Okay, so panel play, and I've chosen to use the Bombay, which is this one. And you can see where those elephants are. That's where I'm going to put my pre-cut my panel pieces. And then you see those white squares in the middle of the dark colored arrow type sections. They're just plain white, but I'm going to use some of the fabrics that I have that coordinate with the panel. So I'll show you what I mean. These are going to be the panels. And if you'll remember on my previous panel play, I did not have I didn't have 8 of them. 3, 6, 7, 3, 6, 8. I did not have 8. I only had 6. And I thought, well, now what do I do? But the big panel had some parts on each end that we could cut. So I made 2 more panels out of those flowers. Now they're not as defined and as these are, because these are the ones that are supposed to be a panel. But that'll do. That'll do. So we got 2 that look like this, and then the rest are going to be the actual ones that came with the panel itself, which is a bee. And did you notice I'm doing a lot of bees lately? The bees and the braid from the sampler was a bee thing too. So that's bee. That's beautiful, isn't that, with the pumpkins? I love a green pumpkin. It just reminds me of gourds and such. I've got a pumpkin in my garden. Haven't gone out and looked at it lately because it's been raining so much. But I'm gonna have to go harvest tomatoes. I'm actually beginning in October to get tomatoes. I think I need to move my garden spot to a more sunnier. It gets a little shade and it just slows everything way down. There's another bee. Okay, so those are going to be my my focus fabric, my fabric number 1, which is the elephants. Those are my elephants. Now, for the insides of these smaller ones, I'm going to use, and I've got them labeled. Now, Fabric Cafe does not alphabetize the pieces, but I went ahead and put the alphabets in there to keep track of these guys. So this little guy, he'll be one of my 4-inch ones. And a couple of leaves. And a couple of those guys. So I'm using 2 of each, and then the third, the one with the bees with the circle, I'm having 3 of those with the wreath. So those are going to be my fabric. I have itemized as number B. B. And so, what are we going to use for the dynamic dark blue fabric? I found it in a bunch of fabric that a lady had given me. It's not part of the stuff that came with this panel, but I think it'll be perfect. Here, I'll hold up a bigger piece of it. Wouldn't that be great? I was thinking about using black as a background fabric, but you know, that'd be too much black, because a lot of these fabrics are dark. So I found this is the beige that I had left over from my Kansas Troubles quilt that I made based on the pattern from Lynn with Soft Squares last fall for her mystery quilt. Not this fall, but last fall. And I used it to make a Kansas Troubles quilt, which I love those fabric colors. This is my wheelhouse, these colors. So anyway, we're going to use this lovely Not too brown and not yellow. Not yellow. It's a lovely wheat. It's a color of wheat. That's what it is. Okay, so this is going to be my focus fabric, my number 3 bright fabric. And this is going to be my fabric number 2, which is going to be the all the beige. And the dark color is going to be those big wild fall colors with a black fabric background. And I even had enough of it to make another border, probably a wider border if I want to. I didn't. Did I cut the final? I don't think I cut that final border because I was deciding whether it was going to be bigger or not. And I think I've got enough to, well, I've got enough to do something with, but if you'll remember, I've got all these others. These are all half yards or yards that we could make a border with. The bees, and then we have more bees. And we even have beehives, and I haven't even touched the beehive fabric. We could do a border of beehives. There we go. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. I'm getting started on that this morning, quickly before work. Sneak in about 23 minutes of fun time. And then I'm ready to go to work and with a good attitude and ready to roll. And this weekend I got my tombstone back from Lynn. It's gorgeous. I'm gonna have to do a short on it. But I think I'll put the binding on first and then do a short. I'm just excited. I've got some things going here, and I'm really happy about the progress that I've been making. You know, my friend on the East Coast, Liz Warnke, she does wonderful project, and so and she'll do a video. She'll do a movie, a video of what she's accomplished. Maybe I need to do something like that because, you know, it's so hodgepodge, all the things that I'm working on. 3 months ago, I had, I think, 15 projects I was going on. And I've pared it down now. I think I'm down under 11. And I'm determined not to start that Buffalo one until January with the Jane Austen 250. So I've got those 2 items. Those 2 projects are ready to roll, really, because I've got fabrics collected and in bins ready and waiting. And I just need to wind up a few of these seasonal ones. I want to do a Christmas one, and I want to do this autumn one, and I want to wind up the presents that I'm going to be making for Christmas. And one of them is going to be that bees and braids that I just finished for So Sampler. One of my daughters likes it, so I'm going to make that for her Christmas present. And then I think I mentioned in one of my other videos that I think what I'll do is take some pictures of my flimsies in a grouping and then have my children pick out which one they'd like for Christmas. And I'm sure they'll also get something additional, but they're going to get to have a quilt, a little quilt, like a throw or a table runner or of something of that nature. Okay, so I'm going to get started on this. So we'll talk to you next time. I've got my pieces. I'm making my half square triangle units. And I was watching Kimberly Jolly. And you know, for the thousands of quilts that woman has made, she always goes and marks these things with the marking on the back instead of trying to use just this to line them up. And I know some of the more I don't know, efficient or with it, sewers, seamists can do that, but I tend to go off kilter a bit. So I'm thinking that this might be just the answer. I'll go ahead and mark these right now and get started on the half square units. I think we need to make 56 of them. Draw a line from corner to corner. Sew on either side, and that makes 56. So half of 56 would be 25, 23, 28 of them. So with 28, we'll make 56, and then we can get started laying it out. Okay, you have a good day. I'm going to have a good day, and I think it's time for me to roll. Bye.